friends who are also students here, and I'd like to speak partially on behalf of foreigners in Finland, partially on behalf of students in Finland, and also on behalf of the youth in Finland. I have here a declaration from the ETUC, Young Trade Unionists from Southern Europe, and I think I would have liked to see more of my student friends out here today, because austerity is something that affects us as students very deeply, just as much as it does workers who have been in the field for decades, doing their hard-earned jobs, earning their hard-earned pay and having their benefits cut, their pensions cut, and just as much as it affects even the very youngest in our population, children. My stepdaughter who's Finnish and goes to daycare, and their daycares are being shut down, combined. Teachers are working longer hours for less pay with less support. It's sad to see young people in Finland, including the very youngest, not getting the superior education and opportunities that they were given, to children of past generations. So I'd like to just quickly read this. It's a declaration from the Young Trade Unionists of Southern Europe, and it says, "Call for solidarity. Youths of Europe, rise up. Young people all over Europe are paying the highest price in this period of the economic crisis as European countries are facing a dire situation. In particular, the condition of Southern Europe could be the tip of the iceberg. Without social and economic solidarity, what is happening in those countries could spread throughout Europe. Youth unemployment rates in countries like Cyprus are 27%, Greece is over half, 55.6% youth unemployment, Italy is 35%, Spain is 54%, Portugal is 37.4%, and I'm not sure what it is in Finland, but I know it's also on the rise here. The situation is even worse for rights of women, migrants, and other groups who are subject to discrimination. That applies to everybody in society, including myself as a foreigner. I think that our situation is getting more precarious as well as the austerity project continues. So young people find jobs that are mostly characterized by highly precarious conditions and a lack of solid social protection, like they have temporary contracts that are widely used with low social protection, voluntary and part-time jobs, something that I have worked myself for low or little pay, in order to working full-time for very low pay as part of the social protection program keeps people in jobs but without the same rights and benefits as normal workers are. The situation is not only the result of the effects of the economic crisis, but also the austerity measures being implemented by national governments, which are greatly affecting basic services like health, education, and culture. I think that this is one thing that I would like to see more broad-based education as a student, fights for education rights, because student tuitions are rising all over Europe, services are falling back, and students are even more precarious situation than they were in the past. And I would have liked to see more students out here today fighting for the same causes that we're all fighting for here today. Austerity is economically and socially unacceptable, as well as being environmentally unsustainable. It is also politically dangerous and undermines democratic stability. As situations worsen and unemployment rates increase, phenomena like racism, xenophobia, intolerance, and violence resurface. We're seeing that all over Europe, and it's scary, and it's happening. It may not be as extreme here in Finland as we've been seeing in Greece and Spain and other places, but I think we're all aware that these issues like racism, xenophobia, intolerance, and violence are resurfacing even here in this country. These policies and the unilateral violation of social dialogue have led trade unions all over Europe to react and young people to mobilize, because it is unfair and unacceptable for workers to pay for the crisis while those who have been responsible for it not only do nothing to address it, but are even continuing to take advantage of it and make huge profits by financial groups who it's clearly been demonstrated that they're making huge profits. There are alternatives. Resignation is not an option, and we should not just accept the neoliberal approach. Financial transaction taxes, investment in R&D, progressive taxation, prosecution of tax fraud and corruption, and other things to fight against the precarious nature of jobs for youth should be tackled in order to help tackle youth unemployment and the issues of working people all over Europe. The European social model should be protected from the present attacks and to be strengthened in the future. We urge European institutions to adopt the European Social Compact, which everyone should look up, as proposed by the European Trade Union Confederation. This social model has ensured that the post-war generations have enjoyed, that the benefits enjoyed by the post-war generation will be ensured for those people in the future. So we cannot lose what we have fought for, and we have to defend these things. The rights and welfare we have enjoyed so far, the hard won by our parents' efforts, I think is very important. Everything that we have today is a legacy of the struggles of our past generation, the struggles of our grandparents, to make sure that we have universal education, to make sure that we have social welfare and social policies that keep children in good daycares and have good education. These things were fought for and won by our ancestors, and I think it's a shame if we don't stand up and fight for them ourselves. So here it closes and say, young workers from all over Europe, stand up for your rights. And I think these are our rights, these are our human rights. They're being violated across the globe, especially here in Europe, and with this vicious austerity campaign. So thank you very much, and I'm sorry to keep that just in English.